The airport was in its typical hustle and bustle. People rushing around with suitcases, announcements echoing over the loudspeakers, and hurried footsteps on polished floors. Among the crowd was Olivia Bennet, a young woman with an elegant posture, dressed in a tailored blazer and discreet high heels. Her braided hair was carefully pinned back, and she carried a sleek leather bag in one hand while holding her boarding pass in the other. Olivia walked confidently across the jet bridge, drawing a few curious glances because of her calm and determined demeanor. Upon boarding the plane, she looked for her seat number until she found her spot in first class. With a polite smile, she greeted the passenger next to her, stored her bag in the overhead compartment, and settled into her seat. She promptly pulled out a tablet and a stylus, starting to jot down notes with full attention. Meanwhile, Emma Collins, a veteran flight attendant with sharp features and an authoritative posture, circulated through the cabin. Emma was known for her attention to detail and the control she exerted over her team and passengers. As she observed the rows, her gaze stopped on Olivia. Something about the woman's presence caught her attention unexpectedly. Emma's expression grew more serious as she approached. "Excuse me," Emma said, with a smile that seemed more procedural than genuine. "May I see your boarding pass, please?" Olivia looked up, maintaining her calm, and handed over the boarding pass with a slight smile. Emma examined the boarding pass for a few seconds, frowning slightly. "This seat is in first class," she stated, as if confirming something. "Yes, that's correct," Olivia responded, her voice calm yet firm. For a moment, Emma remained silent, returning the boarding pass without further comment. However, there was something in the flight attendant's expression that suggested the situation was not over. Olivia, for her part, ignored the interaction and returned to focusing on her notes. A few minutes later, Emma returned, now with a more determined and formal demeanor. "Ms. Bennet, could you come with me for a moment? We need to address an issue with your booking." Olivia looked at Emma with mild surprise but did not hesitate. She grabbed her bag and stood up, feeling the eyes of other passengers following her as she walked down the aisle to the galley area. Emma stopped by the small space, crossing her arms. "Ma'am, it seems there was an error with your booking," Emma began, her voice firm. "We'll need to move you to a seat in economy class." Olivia raised an eyebrow, clearly surprised. "An error? My booking was made weeks ago and confirmed. Are you sure about this?" Emma avoided eye contact for a brief moment before responding, maintaining her serious tone. "I've already checked. It seems this seat isn't appropriate for you. Please follow me to avoid further complications." Olivia's confident posture remained intact, but her voice now carried a controlled note of indignation. "I don't see how an error that isn't mine should force me to change seats. My ticket is valid and within the rules." Emma, however, leaned slightly forward, now whispering coldly, "If you prefer, I can call security to handle this." Olivia took a deep breath, her eyes conveying determination. She knew that insisting at that moment could cause a bigger commotion. With a brief nod, she responded, "Fine. Let's avoid any trouble." As Olivia returned to first class to retrieve her belongings, murmurs among the other passengers grew louder. Many watched her with curiosity, others with evident discomfort at the situation. Holding her bag firmly, Olivia walked with her head held high to her new seat in economy class, sitting down without saying a word. Seated in her new cramped spot in economy, Olivia maintained her impeccable posture. As the passengers around her whispered about what they had just witnessed, she pulled her phone from her bag with calm movements and began typing. There was no anger in her expression, just intense focus, as if every word she wrote was part of a meticulously crafted plan. After sending the message, Olivia put her phone away, crossed her legs, and looked out the window at the movement of the clouds. To a casual observer, she seemed completely unbothered, but her mind was working with precision. She knew exactly how to handle the situation and, more importantly, how to ensure it would not happen to anyone else. Meanwhile, in first class, Emma Collins moved through the cabin with a professional smile, offering drinks and trying to mask a growing discomfort. She felt satisfied that she had resolved the issue, but there was something about Olivia's composure that left her uneasy. Emma couldn't deny that she had expected some reaction, perhaps anger, shouting, or even an immediate complaint. However, Olivia had simply accepted the situation so calmly that it seemed unusual. "Do you think you did the right thing?" asked Dennis, another more experienced flight attendant, as he helped organize the beverage carts. He had watched the interaction from a distance. "I followed my instincts," Emma replied defensively. "Something about her didn't seem appropriate for first class." Dennis narrowed his eyes. Appropriate. She had a valid ticket. "Be careful, Emma. First class or economy, all passengers deserve respect." Emma shook her head but didn't respond. Deep down, she knew Dennis was right, but she didn't want to admit it. 7 minutes after Olivia sent a message, the phone in the cockpit rang. Emma, who was nearby in the galley, answered, adjusting her tone to sound professional. "Galley, this is Emma," she said. On the other end of the line, a firm voice replied, "This is Airline Administration. We've received a formal complaint regarding an incident involving a first-class passenger. We need a detailed explanation. In the meantime, all accommodations should be made to correct the error." Emma's face turned pale. Sure, understood. I'll check immediately." As she hung up, Dennis, observing from the other side, noticed the panicked expression on her face. "What happened now?" he asked. Emma looked at him, still trying to process. "They received a complaint about the passenger I moved. They're asking for explanations and they want it resolved immediately." Dennis raised his eyebrows. "I warned you, Emma. You messed with someone important, and this is going to cost you."